हरे कृष्ण। स्वमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. Today Palamshit has some important meeting, so we'll have our session in the first. So here we'll discuss on the anatomy of cosmic justice, the structural blueprint of karma, dharma, and the architect of the soul. That is this section from 38 to 55. When Yamadutas, they first see the Vishnu Dutas and then they appreciate them for their bodily features and all, and they say maybe you are perfected beings or demigods or sub demigods, but you are very special people. But why are you stopping us from taking this sinful person Ajamil? So it was a genuine question, and that fellow is really meant to go to hell, according to Yamadutas. Then they asked this question. So here the discussion starts, the justice challenge. So what exactly is justice and how it works according to Yamaduta? So Vishnudutas asks Yamadutas, okay, you are telling that this fellow is sinful, he should go to hell. You tell us what is the rule that you are following, what is the dharma you are following. So for that the answer they give. So this is the discussion that happened. So karmic penal system. It is Trigunya Dharma. The Yamadutas arrived to arrest a sinner based on record karmic history. So that is how they are acting. It is just the record. And the transcendental mechanism, Bhagavad Dharma, the Vishnudutas intervenes, representing a higher paradigm of liberation. So here they are talking on this. Here, if we see, they are talking properly about the structure they are following, and that's true also. And even for us also, if you hear the history of Ajamil, we will also feel that justice is done. Say now there is some murder happened, and this fellow murdered some 10 people, some innocent people. He looted them and he gave so much trouble. And when we hear about them, we'll say, yes, he should go to hell. He should be suffering. Now suddenly some militant is there. I know they attacked our country and they killed so many people. Mumbai attack and all. So many innocent people were killed. Some more than 100 people. Now the point is when we say that now if that fellow chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra very sincerely. Now, according to Vishnudutas, they should be released, and Yamadutas they say he should be punished. So now it is the now we are in that state. Now we say no, he did so much wrong to my country, he should be punished. But Vishnudas are coming, no need to punish him. He chanted Hare Krishna, done. So for us now we will not be able to accept. And same thing is happening to Vishnu Yamadutas also. He did not chant. And if he chanted sincerely, and if here Ajamil didn't even chant the name of Lord, he only chanted his son's name. So Madhutas are very much, bewildered. So the confrontation is the Vishnu Dutas demanded the Yamadutas define dharma and prove their justification to act. So this is what Vishnu Dutas are confronting. Arey, he didn't even. You are telling he did sinful activities, but we are saying no. He should not be punished now anymore. The principle of authority. A servant who cannot articulate his master's mission is not a qualified servant. So we should be clear about our master's mission. If not, then we are not perfect. Now, the central conflict, does a higher transcendental mechanism supersede the strict accounting of karmic penal system? So, send somebody intervene it and stop it. So, that is the principal question. So for us, na, we go with that justice mentality. So what Yamadutas are doing now, we also have the same set of mindset at some level. That is why to accept what Vishnu Dutas are telling is becoming difficult for us also. Arey, one time chanted, you are telling this militant, this robber, this dacoit, this murderer should be freed. One time he chanted, that also he didn't chant his Lord's name, he chanted his son's name, and then you are telling all these things. And that is why this chapter is given for us to make us free from the mentality of Amadutas and bring us to Vishnuduta consciousness. So we'll try to understand it more nicely. So here the Dharma is the eternal breath of the Supreme Lord. So not a manufactured system. This is an important point that is explained here. It is said that asya mahato bhutasya nishvasitham. The Vedas are the literal breathing of the Supreme Being. Dharma is eternally exhaled, not artificially constructed. That means it is changeable. Like I was telling, and devotee asked me, Array, when Durvasa Muni was chased by Sudarshan Chakra and he's going around all the places, he went to Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, and he came back to again Ambarish Maharaj. And Sudarshan Chakra had so much time, he's talking to them, he's conversing, but Sudarshan Chakra did not kill only. Why it is waiting? Because Sudarshan Chakra is not a mission, he's a person. So he's just waiting what this fellow is going to do. If he changes something, I am going to kill him. But he saw this fellow is rectifying. So Sudarshan Chakra, he is. So similarly, here we have to know that Dharma is the Vedas are literal breathing of the Supreme Lord. So the rules that are given are very active. They are not just some rules. They can be changed according to the situation. Shushma, we have heard. So now here, cosmic law is received through authorized channels, parampara. Never speculated, manufactured. Dharma is adharma by manufactured dharma is adharma by definition. So now the constitution of the country is written by so many people. Every country write their constitution. Because this is manufactured, ultimately it is adharma only. We have to base our constitution of the country based on the shastra only. Manu Samhita and Dharma Shastras, that should be based. Otherwise, it is considered adharma. So this is from purport and translations only. I am not manufactured this. Otherwise, it becomes adharma if I manufacture my own thing. So this is all from the purports of Prabhupada only. It is just making the notes and giving us. So the Vedas are literal breathing. So when Lord breathes, then the Vedas are appearing, right? And third thing is remote control. From his own abode, Narayana manages the cosmos effortlessly through his multifarious energies. Parasha Shaktir Vividhaiva Shuyati. Manipulating the three modes of natural nature like a farmer guiding a bull by a rope. So this is what Lord is doing. Now how the mechanism of justice, judgment, this is relies on consultation with the super soul. It is not happening randomly. So what happens? Super soul Paramatma, he possesses real time, direct perception of all living beings from within the heart. This is actually what Paramatma has. Real time data Paramatma is keeping. And then he guides Emeraj. What Emeraj does, he operates via Anumimamsate, following or consulting. He executes the super soul's directive, never judging independently. So Emeraj has direct consultation. So we also can hear Paramatma's voice when our mind is very calm, because mind has so many desires, so much noise is made in the mind, because especially rajoguna and tamoguna. That's why we don't hear what Paramatma is speaking. But whereas Emeraj has direct access, he can hear what Paramatma is speaking. So suddenly, if some fellow come in front of Emeraj, Emeraj can know what this fellow did, how Paramatma can tell, and what should be done to somebody somewhere very far. That also is guided by Emeraj. So here, Emeraj is very perfect, proper person. That's why he's one of the Mahajans. Now, the Yamadutas, what they are doing, operating on stale karmic history, unaware that the super soul has updated the entity status due to final liberating act, chanting the holy name. So you are seeing, so here one stream is coming. This is what Yamaduta is doing. But what happened? Suddenly you are seeing some light is coming here. So this light is what Paramatma has changed. So Vishnu Dutas are only direct data. They don't know there is some special light is coming and changing the living entity's status due to final liberating act. That means he chanted. So immediately the files are changed. Like there is a raid on the house of a person because some income tax raid or enforcement director raid on the person, and they are based on all the evidence. They came to the house of the person. By the time he came, he is promoted to be the governor of the state or whatever. He is promoted something high. So then all these rules don't apply. It is not in their jurisdiction. They have to live and go because he is something very high. It will not come under him. If he becomes a judge of the state, then they cannot touch him. Then there is separate department who can handle. So like that, here what happened to Ajamil, by the time Yamadutas came, he changed his status quo, the stale karmic history. So unaware of the update, what happened. So that's why they have a problem. So now the structure of the universe renders secrecy impossible. So the conditioned souls act under the delusion that unseen acts go unrecorded. There are no discrepancies, no missing evidence, and no technicalities in cosmic law. Everything will be accounted. Every small act is accounted. So the 12 cosmic witnesses, sun, moon, fire, air, sky, directions, water, earth, time, day, night, twilight, constantly observe and record every physical and verbal act. So everything is recorded. And the internal witness. The super soul sits within the heart, witnessing the and recording even unmanifested thoughts and desires. So such a great and difficult thing for us. So we cannot hide anything here. That's what the structure of universe rendered secrecy impossible. There is nothing we can hide. We are open only. Only thing is we don't know them. That's why we think they are not there. So it is like the CCT cameras. Cameras are everywhere. Everything is recorded, but they are recorded in a very subtle way, and not in a gross way. And we are very gross, so we don't understand. In Vedic culture, people are very subtle, so they can immediately see the difference. They can know that what is happening, what is not happening. So it was easy for them, right? So here, these are the 12 witnesses: sun, moon, fire, air, earth. They are always writing, and in previous ages, at least previous ages, even what is thought in the mind, that is also there is punishment for it. Now in the mm, mm, Kali Yuga, it is not there, so it's good. So internal is more dangerous because all the desires are there. Based on that, our situation will be changed. So there is another problem with internal thing. And only a fraction of living entities are subjected to karmic prosecution. So uh, this is clear. I think all the witnesses are there around. They are watching. They are making a record of it. We cannot avoid any of them. Any point of time, something is always there. Directions are anywhere there. Earth is there. Time is there. So much. So this is actually answers given by Yamadutas. They are actually telling to Vishnuduta all these details. And only a fraction of living entities are subjected to karmic prosecution. There are Nityamuktas, ever liberated souls in the spiritual realm, completely outside the system. We can nobody touches them. Nityamuktas, even when they come to this material world, they are also then also they cannot be touched. Like all the acharyas, Goswamis are special who directly come from spiritual world. They are Nityamuktas, like Prabhupada. They are eternal associates. So though they are beyond Yamaduta's touch, they cannot be karmic. Prosecution does not happen to them. And there are 84 lakh species evolving automatically under law, nature's law, incapable of moral deviation. So they are subhuman species. They don't have any karmic reactions. They are already just going through the reactions. Say they are already in the prison. So they just have to complete their prison term and come out. So they will not have any more of punishment. Of course, in the prison people may do wrong, but animals don't have that much freedom also. A cow can never eat non-veg. It will just eat whatever it can eat. A tiger will die but cannot eat grass. So they just can't. They evolve automatically. They are incapable of moral deviation. So cow or animals or anything, they will not get punished for anything wrongdoing because they can never do only wrong. And then who comes under the jurisdiction? Following Vedic injunctions according to good karma be but still bound by the system. So here the pious human beings, they are the first. They are the laws of karma will apply on them. Karma is applying on them. But the main target for Yamadutas are sinful humans, the target. Humans who manufacture their own ways of acting, ignoring Vedic directions. They are sole candidates for Yamara's punishments. So, yesterday we were discussing this. What about the people who die and will Yamadutas come? Yamadutas don't come for everyone, they only come for sinful people. And for very, very advanced people, Vishnudutas will come. In between people, they go on their own. So this is the system like that. Very simple people, like we discussed, like if a person, the police will come for sinful people, police will come for big VVIP person. For ordinary people, we have to take our own car, bike, public transport, and we have to travel. We don't get any special privilege like that, so nobody will come for us. So most of the cases, people they may not see Yamadutas, but they have to go to the abode of Yamaraj for judgment, whatever they have acted. In Kali Yuga, maybe Yamadutas may have extra work to do. So many people are doing sinful activities and they get punished. So they have to take them to abode of Emerald, and somebody may directly go there. So both is possible. I have witnessed like people who have habits, wrong habits, they will definitely see. If they eat tobacco, if they are smoking, drinking, meat eating, so much meat eating, so they will definitely, and they have not atoned or did not do any pious activity. And Prabhupada said that after eating, somebody goes for clearing the stomach immediately. He will see Yamadutas. And I have witnessed also this. I was telling about one of our relative grandmothers. She used to have this problem. Immediately after eating, she used to clear the stomach. And just few months before her dying, she used to tell, I am seeing somebody, I am seeing somebody, I am seeing somebody. And then after reading Prabhupada purport, then I understood. She is seeing Yamadutas only. She was becoming fearful. I was that time I was very small, so I didn't know. But I remembered what happened to her. And when I read Prabhupada purport, then I understood. Yes, this is what happened to her. So the problem is not Prabhupada wrote actually is writing properly. We any illicit any of these regulative principles, no, they if they are done very wrong, they have to see. Ajamil also did the same thing. So normal people who are just living like that, they may not see Yamadutas, but they will go for judgment. And next slide says that present experience is precise diagnostic evidence of past future karma. So here the quality, experience, and trajectory. So if there is goodness, their quality is peaceful, they experience happiness and they go upwards. Passion is restless, experience is happiness also, unhappiness also. It's a mixed. And then they stagnate at the place, Madhyama. And ignorance is foolish, unhappy, and downwards, right? Now, the springtime analogy, just as the characteristics of this year spring, flower, temperature, provides perfect evidence of the past spring and reliably predict future spring, a soul's present dominant mode perfectly reveals their karmic history and destination. So this is from Prabhupada purport only. So they say that there should be past also, there should be present also, and there is future also. So when we are seeing a flower, we can know that the characteristics tells that there was something in the past, that's why this is growing. There was something in the future, it will grow. Hmm. So here spring provide perfect evidence of past. So the soul is entirely blind to its own transmigration. So here this is another analogy that is given. A sleeping person perceives a body in a dream, experiences its pains and pleasure as absolute reality and forgets the physical body resting in bed. When we are in dream, so the proof that we have impressions is because of dream. If we don't have any impressions, now we'll not get any dream because impressions are stored, they create the dream. Your understanding. So there is so much memory inside, which is acting some randomly and creating some dreams in our consciousness, in our mind. Now we don't have all this memory only. When we sleep, we'll sleep in full deep sleep state, samadhi state will. We are not entering samadhi because we have all these vasanas. And so the sleeping person receives a body in a dream, experiences its pains and pleasure as absolute reality, and forgets the physical. we we are observing ourselves in dream also. How we are able to see ourselves? We are getting some subtle body, like that. Prabhupada writes. And the condition state, the soul identifies completely with the current temporary body, utterly blind to the bodies it has discarded and the ones it will soon inhabit. So the soul got many bodies. So in sleep, we are feeling somebody is beating, I am running, I am jumping, I am enjoying. So what is that body we got in the dream? That is some body we got in the dream because of our experiences, and we consider it a real, and we start experiencing pain, pleasure because of that body. But that is not real body. Now, when we are awake, this body is also not real body because we have got many bodies like this, and in future also we are going to get the body, but we are not understanding. So the pramatta means intoxication. Due to this amnesia, the human pursues immediate sense gratification without calculation, guaranteeing future suffering. The cure is Shastra Chakshu, seeing through the eyes. So now, because we have this Dehatma Buddhi, we think, okay, I got this body, now let me enjoy it. Arey, it is going to be a danger. Now the soul operates the mechanism of existence in total isolation. So this is a nice point. We'll try to understand it. So architecture of isolation. So how the soul, which is the inside part, the 16 elements of metal interaction, five knowledge senses, five working senses, sense objects, and mind. So they are around it, you are seeing. And the soul, Ekastu, the 17th element, the soul, isolated in the center of all mechanical apparatus. So we are caught up in this mission. This mission has 16 elements, which is holding the soul inside. Now, the illusion of support, society, friendship, national identity are temporary construction around the soul. The soul struggles to the ocean of nescience completely alone. So, this is the important point. Bechara soul is alone, it is suffering. Now, the rational response is acknowledging this isolation is not existential despair, it is the catalyst for seeking the only genuine shelter, the super soul. Because the soul, with all these things alone, so besides the soul is super soul. So we should take shelter of it. And the karmic bondage is a self manufactured prison. So this is a nice image here. So the mechanism is silkworm produce silk from its own saliva, spinning a cocoon from which it cannot escape. And self extracted threads. The living entity is not trapped by external force. Every unauthorized desire and sinful acts extracts a self manufactured karmic thread. We are actually creating this thread. The thread is like karma. Every action which is not meant to please Krishna is going to give reaction to us. That should be clear. Whether I have karma or not, yes, any act you did not please Krishna, that will come back to you. So that is the point. Of course, even if you do something for Krishna and which is uh, inconvenient to the body, then also will get result to it. Like say, I want to please Krishna and I am so much working hard and distributing books. Will I get pains in the leg because of standing so much for distributing books? Yes, I'll get pain in the leg. Will I get hungry? And if I don't drink water and food and keep serving Krishna, will I get weakness in the body? Definitely will get. So the laws will work on us, but Krishna will intervene. If you don't do actions which are not pleasing Krishna, it will bind. But if you depend completely on Krishna and do actions, then Krishna will take charge. Say, people want to have this question about Vastu. Should I have my house according to Vastu or not? See, basically, we discussed this that at a settler level, Vastu is very important because it keeps mind healthy. Because the ventilation, the sun rays, wind flow, everything should be according properly so that it will help your mind to be remain very healthy. Body will be healthy, mind will be healthy. If there is no proper sunlight, no ventilation, mind and body will become sick. That's why we need Vastu. But if a devotee completely depends on Krishna and he just takes Krishna, this is whatever, I don't want to go to anything. I just want to be under you, and whatever you give, I will take. I will not look at anything. This is what I got, I will take. No Vastu, nothing. So now what happens to him is now he is completely surrendered. He is properly surrendered, a very exalted person. So now, if Vastu is not right, I am giving an example. So what all difficulties will come because of not having good Vastu will all help that person to become more surrendered to Krishna. Like his health will be little affected because of not having good ventilation, sunlight, or whatever. That will be actually and conducive for his advancement in Krishna consciousness. He will become more surrendered. Okay, now he will take it. Oh, my health is becoming bad. That means Krishna is giving an indication that I should more and more take Krishna consciousness seriously and surrender. So anything will become positive for a devotee because he takes it as mercy of Krishna. So for him, he don't have time for Vastu, he don't have time for anything. He only time for chanting. And like that, we see many devotees, they are like very normal and all. Suddenly, When they got cancer, they became so serious and started taking Krishna consciousness more intensely. One devotee, he was uh, he was a brahmachari in the ashram and everything was going fine. And suddenly he got some very serious health issue and he was cured from it. But after that, he became very serious in bhakti. He understood, my God, anytime I may die. And from that day onwards, he started chanting 64 rounds. And no, for many years he chanted like that. So the point is, the sometimes any setback for a devotee is Krishna can take any wrong situation and help a devotee to come closer to him. That's not a problem. A very wrong father like Hiranyakashipu, no problem. Prahlad can become, and Lord will only come for him. He will become more intense. And no wrong mother for Bharat Maharaj, wrong guru for Bali Maharaj, so wrong father. So any wrong situation, wrong husband, like so many demons, their wives are devotee. So any wrong situation is not a problem. If the person is completely surrendered. So they need not bother about it. Krishna will nicely take care. So even if we are not completely surrendered, but we want to surrender also, no problem. Krishna will make sure. Anyway, so the point what I was telling is any action which is not meant to please Krishna is going to give a karmic bondage. And the closing cocoon is these accumulated desires, sanskara, wrap around the soul, forming the settled body. With each new birth, the cocoon closes tighter. Escape require external intervention. This is very, very important point. On our own, we cannot do. We need somebody from outside, Guru and Krishna. They only can help. So now the serving impulse is indestructible. Bondage is simply misdirection. So now comes the real thing. This is from all from Prabhupada purports only. No problem. This is from Shloka number 38 to 35. So this is the notes for it, and that is the PPT for it. So this is notes I mean, and this is the PPT. So PPT is easy to remember than the notes. So I'm showing the PPT because it has some images and little less text, where the note has so much text. So now here bondage is simply misdirection. For the soul, the service impulse is in. So when the soul want to serve, immediately it is freed. So this is the most important slide. Please try to understand. Swabhava, inherent nature. No living entity can remain inactive. The soul is fundamentally structured to serve Krishna Das. So this is the soul's nature. That is the simple. Now what happens? Two things are happening. First is if it is going bhakti yoga, eternal service, divine connection. If it is going B. If it is going A, the structural solution. Bhakti yoga works with the soul's constitution, not against it. Changing the object of service transforms the machinery of bondage into engine of liberation. Please understand, this is the most important point. Why one time chanting the holy name also is working? One lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. One movement association of Prabhupada, why it is working? This is the reason. One time they saw Prabhupada, they left everything, joined temple. One time they heard, left everything, joined. One time they heard Harinam, they went behind the Harinam and joined the temple. Why it is happening like that? We can hear many such stories. One reading of the book, one association of devotee, one time seeing Harinam, now Rath Yatra is going to happen. One time they see Rath Yatra and they remember, Arey, in childhood I saw Rath Yatra. Now, now he's coming and attending temple programs. Why did this happen? So this is the main point. Bhakti Yoga works with the soul's constitution, not against it. That means changing the object of service transform the machinery of bondage into engine of liberation. So as soon as the gear is changed, If you change the gear, instead of down, you go up. Bhakti yoga, the soul not directly gets connected. So it becomes free from all the bondage. If you remember this bondage, na, these two slides, all these 16 elements and all, the soul is in isolation here. So it is under the cocoon of the subtle body. But as soon as the soul touches bhakti, all these 16 elements which are around, they are breaking. The cocoon is breaking because the soul got something higher. And the misdirected vector. Under illusion, this eternal serving tendency is hijacked by material objects and humanitarianism or social ideologies. All these things are bondage, material objects, human. So they are bonding us. So Maya binds. They say, "Oh, I'm very dharmic person, I'm humanitarian person, and I'm having social ideologies, this, that, array, all these things is bondage, and it's all bogus. Only one thing should be done." That's why when Prabhupada first met Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, Prabhupada was actually he was working with social reforms. You want to change something. But Siddhanta Thakur said, nothing works because it's all with the external subtle body and gross body, not to the soul. Directly give living entity something to the soul. He will be free from this material world. External changes. Previously, Mughals were ruling India, then Britishers ruling India. Now Indians are ruling in India. But nothing changes for people. Ultimately, it's same only. You have to struggle. So struggle did not change. Now we have to work more hard to get job, exams, maintain a family. So no matter how much you change externally, the struggle did not change for living entity. So the main thing is we have to get out of it. So that is where the structural change comes. So that's why when the soul, even one time he does this, he will get something higher. There is a higher taste. Immediately they start going. So the machinery of bondage into engine of liberation happens. So now we see the settled body operates as a desire machine, generates future physical forms. This we all know. So now how the engine works and where the system breaks. So first is intense desire, that is gross body. Daily activities and attachment cultivate a specific atmospheric consciousness. Second is Adrishta, the universal unseen cons. This is Brahma is there. We say our Adrishta, our fate we call. Na? This is the point. So fruitive actions generate a subtle, unmanifested karmic residual. Then comes Linga Sharira, the subtle body. Mind and the 50 elements powerfully store these accumulated desires. They are putting around it. And the moment of that, the gross physical body drops, but the Linga Sharira remains completely intact. And the next embodiment is the subtle body forces the soul into the new biological form, matched perfectly to the final state of mind, the engine of transmigration. So this is actually what Yamadutas are telling. But now comes the main point. You see, this arrow is piercing and breaking, and this is what is good. Reprogramming the subtle architect ends the cycle of transmigration. So by the end of Ajamila's section, we will see this again and again so that we are very clear with the concept. The override. Social pacts fail because they do not alter the subtle body. Only the transcendental consciousness rewrites the Linga Sharira. Like social pacts means any revolutions or any self-help books or meditation, yoga classes, nothing is going to change the subtle body so easily. Only transcendental consciousness, that is Bhakti Yoga, holy name. One time, finish. The result, because it one time holy name, it touches the soul. The soul, which is dry, now got something fresh, and it will always long for that. The result is the subtle body dissolves completely. The soul receives a spiritual form rather than generating another gross material body. So the subtle body is dissolved. The soul is receiving a spiritual form. And Ajamila precedent is even at the moment of death, Injecting the absolute reality of the Supreme purges the subtle body's material data. So this is what we are doing. We are corrupting the subtle body's program by giving the holy name. Now the subtle body stops functioning properly. It will act differently because you have corrupted the program. We have given something different to it. And subtle body is acting in one way and soul is acting. Like say we are uh, somebody is watching a TV and he's seeing very very beautiful whatever movie or whatever, he's so attached to it and he's watching. Suddenly somebody comes and shows a beautiful no some fragrant some cake or something, and now the person, instead of watching the TV, is looking at the. It's a full table of feast is there, and he's looking at the table of feast now. Just some smell he got, and now he's looking in different direction. The subtle body is, array, I'm showing you nice movie. Movie is nice, but still, he want to go there and have the feast. So like that, the soul got the taste of the holy name. Even once, one Namaba sufficient. The soul will say, Array, I don't want anymore this TV. It's all illusion. Reality is food. I can enjoy it directly. I'm just giving, it is not Acharya's example, but the holy name is like that. It's something Acharyas give. How the Acharyas compare the holy name? They'll compare with nectar. They'll compare with, very juicy thing. They are comparing the holy name like that. That means the soul is getting something, some very tasty thing. That's the comparison of acharyas. So now here, liberation is not an achievement; it's a restoration. So anyatha rupam, the false form, and swarupa, the actual form. So this is the architect. The false position, bhokta, the awkward, unnatural attempt by the conditioned soul to act as the independent enjoyer and master of material nature. So the actual position is Krishnadas. Muktir hitva anyata rupam surupena vyavasthiti. Liberation simply means giving up the false identification and becoming situated in one's eternal position of the service of the Supreme Person. So the soul, even one time it got it, it will immediately go. Because soul never got anything like that. Any selfless act, soul will go in that direction. So this is what is there. And I will come to the purports now, or directly from Prabhupada. We have summarized it. Now we'll go to the actual direct words of Prabhupada. So that is very helpful for us. So this is from verse 38 onwards. We have discussed till 30. Yeah, when Yamadutas saw Vishnu Dutas, they appreciated them. So Sukadeva Goswami began, being thus addressed by messengers of Yamaras, the servants of Vasudeva smiled and spoke the following words in voice of as deep as the sound of rumbling crowds. The Yamadutas were surprised to see that Vishnudutas, although polite, while hindering the rules of Emerald. Similarly, Vishnudutas were also surprised by Yamadutas, although claiming to be the servant of Emerald, the supreme judge of the religious principle, were unaware of the principles of religion. So now they ask this question. So here we have, so we'll just summarize the purports. So what we learn from each purport, we'll just take to most important thing. So here in the translation, the blessed messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu said, if you are actually servants of Emerald, you must explain to us the meaning of religious principles and symptoms of irreligion. So here the Prabhupada is writing, a servant must know his master's instruction. So Vishnudutas test whether Yamadutas truly understand Yamaraja's purpose. So this is what first Prabhupada, right? Second is surrender to Krishna is the actual principle of religion. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam. Those who do not surrender are impious regardless of material position. And non-surrenders are classified as dushkritina. Prabhupada is writing here. Namam dushkritino muda. And then the last thing is says practical lesson for preachers. Devotees, especially preaching, must know Krishna conscious philosophy thoroughly to avoid embarrassment when challenged. This is what Prabhupada is explaining here. And then the next verse says that what is the process of punishing? So this is Vishnu Dudas are asking Yamaraj, are all karmis engaged in fruitive activities punishable or only some of them? So not everyone is punishable. We saw that diagram, right? Human beings are responsible due to advanced consciousness. But not all human beings are punished also. Those who are engaged in sinful activities are only under the jurisdiction of Yamadutas, not all. See, humans, na, they have extra brain that is helpful for them to act in a particular way, which is not there for others. We have an ability to look up in the sky. No animals will do. Giraffe will look but to eat only. That means we are given extra brain. But what we do, we use that extra brain for doing extra sense gratification, which is meant for self realization. If we use the extra brain instead of self realization for sense gratification, Lord will take away that and He will again make us animal. That is what is happening for many of them. The purpose of the extra brain is for self realization. If you, instead of using it for self realization, if you are using it for sense gratification, Lord says, not qualified for it. Take it away. So if you are having a Mercedes Benz and we are using it plowing the field, then what will happen to Mercedes? Array, it is meant for something else and you are using it for something else. So that's how it is happening for us. This is the speciality for humans. We have speech, we have consciousness, we have fingers. These are the special features of human beings which are not there for. We have refined speech, we have a conscious brain, and our fingers. No animals will have perfect fingers like humans. That's why we can create so many things which no other. Most of them they use for walking. Even monkey also most of the time it uses for walking. Sometimes it eats, but it does not have that much refined. So we are given these fingers are the most important. So anyway, here the point Prabhupada is trying to tell is not everyone is punishable. Human beings are responsible due to advanced consciousness, but not all also. So this is in the purport 39. And 40 it is Yamadutas replied, that which is prescribed in the Vedas consists dharma. So Veda pranito hi dharma. So adharmas viparyeha. So this is a shloka there. So they said that this is what is dharma, and then they say that the Vedas are directly the Supreme Lord Narayana and are self-born, and they are the this we have heard from Yamaraj. So they know it is directly coming from Lord. Now Prabhupada is writing few very important points. He says, Mahajanoyana gatasya panta. One must follow the Mahajans. Yamaraj is one of the 12 Mahajans. Yamadutas reply with Shushma. They said, we have heard. They did not manufacture. So this we have discussed. Dharma is not supported by Vedas is rejected. So all the things which we are making now, it may temporarily look that it is working, but it does not work. Any rule which we are following in the house also, what to speak of country's dharma. Even in the house also we keep many rules. If our rules in the house are not according to dharma and the shastras, it will only eventually fail. So that's why we always read shastras and know what to do at home also. If you want to make anything, that's why Previously, na, every family was guided by certain brahmanas. They are called Purohit. Purohit means who will do hit for hit for others. So every family used to have Purohit. If you see in Veda culture, the king used to have Purohits and Brahmanas. Always he used to consult them. He used to have council of ministers who are mostly Brahmanas like that. So they used to give everything based on the Shastras. So he cannot decide on its own. He has to go with the Shastras, and that will only work. So that is the system. So here, any action, if not Shastra, it is adharma. Bhagavat Dharma is surrender to Supreme. This is what Arjuna thought violence is adharma, but Krishna told, no, no, fighting is dharma. You kill them. Arjuna said, I'll go to forest and read Bhagavatam. Krishna says, no, no, you stand here and fight, fight them and kill all of them. So that is good for you. Reading Bhagavatam, not for you, no. So the point is, we should know what Krishna wants. Accordingly, you do, that is dharma. That is Bhagavad Dharma. And Vedas emanate from the breath of Narayana, and Madhvacharya says the Vedas are Vishnu Maya. Vishnu is the origin. Following Vedic principles makes one a Vaishnava. This is what in this purport it is given. So Vedam Pramatto Vaktat Harer Eva Yato Vibhuhu Ato Vishnu Atmaka Veda Iti Ahur Veda Vadinaha. The transcendental word of the Vedas emanate from the mouth of Supreme Lord. So this is what our Acharyas are giving, Prabhupada is giving. So the next translations is, so this I am just summarizing the most important point from the purports I am explaining you, so that you will know what Prabhupada is trying to help us understand. Then when the translation says the supreme cause of all causes, Narayana is situated in his own abode in the spiritual world, but nonetheless he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to three modes of nature, sattva, rajas, and tama. In this way, all living entities are awarded different qualities, different names, different duties according to Varnashrama institution and different forms. Thus, Narayana is the cause of entire cosmic man. These are all told by Yamadutas. So this is true. So we are given different, we discuss this also. Three gunas are there, three types of natures a living entity has, karma, jnana, yoga. Three modes of material nature are there. The combination of them will create certain tendency to act. The Kshatriya, Vaishya, Brahmana, and Shudra. So all these things are based on three modes and the nature of eternal nature of the soul also. That is Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Karma, Jnana, and Yoga will come with that. Three modes are there, and the combination of them will create the Hankara creates different actions because of it. So it's all very complicated in that way. That's why the institutions are given so that uh, sorry. So the point here is we have to act, we are acting the why we have this karma, yoga, and bhakti path, because the soul is Satchitananda. We have discussed how it is connected, and I told the karma tendency, jnana tendency, how they are connected to soul. Then when we also discussed in previous classes how three modes, they are connected to different actions which we are doing. And then we have this ahankara, which is good, which is connected to goodness, passion, ignorance. It will act in a particular way. So the ahankara manifests like that. If you combine ahankara, passion, and ignorance, you will become a kshatriya ahankara. Like that. So when you have sattva-guna ahankara, then brahmana ahankara will come. That means the actions will be like that. And within that, the tendency of the soul, karma, jnana, and yoga is combined. So it's all a very big combination. So here, what can be learned from the purport Prabhupada says that Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shurite. So the Lord is actually, so in 41 Prabhupada is telling that the Lord has multifarious energy and acts without personal endeavor. Atheists cannot see Narayana as a super soul because they are covered by the three modes, and Brahma Samhita, Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna. So these are all Prabhupada wrote in this purport, 41. And 42, it is talking about the witnesses. Who are all the witnesses here? The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, the super soul, all are witnesses. Now, Prabhupada writes that response to the you know skeptics like Christianity, they ask about the witness of karma. The universe is full of witness. Prabhupada is writing. So this is from the Parpaton. Prabhupada says we once had a discussion with learned Christian professor who argued that although people are generally punished after the witnesses of their misdeeds are examined, we are the witnesses responsible for one's suffering and reactions of past karma. So Prabhupada says, to such a person, the answer by the Yamadutas is given here. So we have so many witnesses here. Nothing is secret. So this we have discussed. All actions are observed and accordingly living entities are elevated. Parallel verse from the Vedic literature, here it is confirmed. So here Aditya Chandvar Anilo Anilascha Bhumir Apo Hridayam Yamascha Ascha Ratrischa Ubhe cha Sandhe Dharmopi Janati Nirasya Bhartam. So this is from Vedas saying the same thing, that these are all the witnesses. 43 text. The candidates for punishment are those who are confirmed by these many witnesses to have deviated from their prescribed regulative activities. Everyone engaged in fruitive activity is settled to be subjected to punishment according to his sinful acts. So here Prabhupada is writing, human beings are supposed to act according to Vedas. Manufacturing one's own way is inherently sinful. That's why most of the people they don't know Shastras, that's why they are living a sinful life. Even pious acts without material modes, pious acts within the material modes bind one to karma. The only escape is devotion. So Prabhupada is very clear here. And then so these Yamadutas are giving nice proper understanding. They are telling, array people are bound because of they will be given different activities they have to do according to their nature. They are given different Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, all these things are given. And then whatever action they are doing, they are witnessed. They are not doing on their own. If you don't do, first he told, where are the rules coming from? Rules are coming from the Lord. And then first Lord gave the rules, and then he created people according to their nature, and they have to follow the rules. Whether they are following or not, who is watching, where is the CCTV camera? All CCTV cameras are mentioned. This CCTV cameras are there. First, Lord made the rules, then he made the living entities, and he made so that before making the human beings, he made the rules. And now he said, now you have to follow the rules. If you don't follow, these are the witnesses. So then what happens? In proportion, and before that, what they told, that who are under the jurisdiction, only human beings who don't follow dharma, they are under our jurisdiction. Otherwise, we don't touch them only. You can do whatever you want. But if you are doing sinful, then we come. In proportion to the extent of one's religion or illicit action in one's life, one must enjoy or suffer the corresponding reactions of his karma. This is also very simple to understand. And then they say the best of the demigods, we can see three different varieties of life, which are due to contamination of three modes of nature. Their living entities are known as peaceful, restless, and foolish, happy, unhappy, and between. religious, irreligious, and semi-religious. So this is according to the three modes. This we have discussed, seen in that PPT. So and Prabhupada is writing the same thing here. Mamcho Vivicharena Bhakti Yogan Sagunan Samati Taitan. By Bhakti we can come out of it. We will be elevated. Just as springtime is present, indicate the nature of springtimes in the past and future. Like if there is spring now, that means in the past also spring was there, future also there. So the life of happiness, distress are mixed, are both given evidence concerning the religious and religious activities of one's past and future. I am young now means I was, so I am in a youthful state now means I was young before and I am going to become old in the future. So this is how we should know that. And again, I will get young body and again I will have this. So we are changing our body. So seasons are also changing. We are seeing it. So it indicates that it is a present indicates the nature of springtime in the past and future. So this life. The Prabhupada says our past and future are not very difficult to understand. For it, time is under the contamination of three modes of nature. As soon as spring arrives, the usual exhibition of various types of fruits and flowers automatically will manifest. And therefore, we may conclude that spring in the past was adorned by the similar fruits and flowers and will be adorned in the future also. Our repetition of birth and death is taking place within time. And according to the influence of three modes, we are receiving various types of bodies and being subjected to various conditions. So then the next point is that the omnipotent Emerald is as good as Lord Brahma. For while situated in his own abode or in everyone's heart like the Paramatma, he mentally observes the past activity of living entity and does understand how living entity will act in the future. So it is Emerald, he can easily observe what we are doing. So first rules are given by Lord, then body is given, then witnesses are kept, the CCTV cameras are installed. Now you say you act. If you act wrongly, who is there? Yamaraj is there. He is Paramatma. He knows everything. That is the point here. Yamaraj is not ordinary. He is as good as Lord Brahma. So he just executes what Lord is giving. As a sleeping person acts according to the body manifested in his dream and accepts it by itself, or so one identifies with his present body, which he acquired because of his past religious and religious action, and is unable to know his past or future life. So this we have seen in the PPT also, this image. So we are getting different bodies. So this is a very big purport by Prabhupada. Means very important points are given. I'll just tell you the points which Prabhupada says. Prabhupada says, why sinful action occurs? Prabhupada writes here, because one is mad of sense gratification, pramatta, and does not know past causes and present suffering. And this is Nunam Pramatta Kurute Vikarma. This is from Rishabdev Prabhupada, right? The baddened person acts sinfully for sense pleasure, not knowing that this leads to another suffering body. The Vedic injunction, Tasmai Mam, does not remain in darkness. Tamasi Mam, don't remain in darkness. Jyotir Kamaya. We have to come out of it. The process of enlightenment is Tadvijnanartham Sagurum Eva Bigachet. We have to go to Guru and get it. That's why then only Shastra Chakshu, one is in mode of goodness. And dangers of ignorance is one interested only in the present body. Like an animal, he will remain in darkness. So this is what Prabhupada is writing in the purport of this verse. Huge purport, but the essence I have told you. And the 50th shloka says, now after the five senses of perception, the five working senses, five objects of senses and mind, which is the 16th element mind. Above the mind is the 17th element, soul. We have seen the diagram, right? All are around and the soul is in between. The soul, living being himself, who is cooperator with the 60, enjoy the material world alone. You see, alone. The living being enjoys three kinds of situations, namely happy, distressful, and mixed. So here, Ekastu, everyone struggles alone in the ocean of material existence. No one can truly help others. So this is what Prabhupada is telling. Nobody will help us. We are struggling alone. Only Krishna can help. Therefore, one's sole concern should be to satisfy Krishna. Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Prabhupada is telling. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, ऐनन्दतनुजा किं करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया. I am your eternal servant, fallen in this ocean of nakedness. Please pick me up. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling through Sikshashtakam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Anadi Krishna Phale Padi Bhavarnava Jale Taribare Na Deki Upay. This is all from the. So everybody is trying to play. So these are the two shlokas that is given. And individual responsibility. This also we discussed. Say if an institute, if we are going to a college and college is not good, teachers are not teaching well. Now what the parents will do, they will keep separate tuitions, they will arrange separate training sessions, some YouTube live sessions, and then they will tell the child to study and pass, right? So this is a very important thing. Individual responsibility means if you say, Prabhuji, our local temple, this problem is there, that problem is there. Array, it is your individual responsibility. Wherever you get good association, online it is available now, you take and you make progress. We cannot blame the institute for if anything is wrong there. It is providing certain facilities, certain structure is there, some facilities are there. It cannot provide everything. It is an individual's responsibility to do right thing and progress. This is the most important. We cannot say, Prabhuji, we have this problem in our temple, that problem. A problem are there everywhere. Material world is problem. Only thing is, if we are sincere, Krishna will provide all the things that are needed. So here, this is individual. Each person must become a pure devotee to be delivered. Prabhupada is writing. This is from the purport of 50th verse. So we should remember that everyone is responsible for his own life. This is clear. And we have 3-4 verses. We will complete them. So the subtle body is endowed with 16 parts, the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Okay, we just go. If any questions, comments. So there's something in chat boxes. For pious people who are not pure devotees who will come at the time of death. No, Yamadutas will not come. They will just go to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj, there are 4 gates to Yamaloka. Only certain gate if you go through, then Yamaraj looks very fearful and Yamadutas and all. Others will not go in that direction. They will go in different directions to Yamaloka, and Yamaraj looks very peaceful there, and he will make the judgment and they will go like that. It is like. That is why devotees who preach to karmic are called disruptors. Yes, will I get this? Yeah, I post this presentation in the group. Any questions, comments, or we can end? Okay, we'll end here. Thank you all very much.